Welcome to Season 1, Episode 9 of The Scare Guy, our special Halloween episode. Tonight we talk about the season premiere of The Walking Dead. It was a pretty explosive episode. We talk all about the new movie, Happy Death Day, the scariest haunted attractions in America, and of course, John Carpenter's original Halloween, the best horror film ever made. Coming at you in theaters this week. Tonight.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There it is.
How appropriate. Can we take a look at the couch over here?
Yes.
Very special guest tonight sitting on the couch with us tonight for The Scare Guy. This is our special Halloween edition of The Scare Guy. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We only have 1 week until Halloween. It's a busy time of year. We are all super excited. So this is ScareGuys.com. This is the Scare Guys show. Hopefully you are subscribed and you're getting all your good scary news from us. My name is Jim. I'm the managing editor of The Scare Guy here. You can find me at ConGuyJim because we are the scarier side of the ConGuy.com. And we have, it's Jim and just the most lovely ladies of horror tonight, or should we call them the Scream Queen? Should we call them
Right, it's the most girls we've had
This
ever
is
on
awesome.
the show.
I'm so excited. All right.
All right, hey, how's it going? My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D. Lane. That's Karidlane. And I want to give a quick little shout out to Espionage Cosmetics. I'm wearing these nail wraps, and it's called Dead Inside, and it's a chain link fence with zombies. So you're going to want to look at my social media so you can see these up close because they're so cool.
Nice.
And hi everyone, I'm Angela Relucio. You can find me and all the social media goodness out there at Angela Relucio, and you'll see it on your screen.
I'm Megan Salinas. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
And tonight we have Michael Myers on the couch. Oh man, I so stinking love this movie, and it's going to be back in theaters this week all around the world, actually.
Nice.
Special 39th anniversary edition of Halloween.
Wow.
What's everybody doing for Halloween?
Probably sleeping because I'm exhausted by the time Halloween rolls around because we're doing so much, right? No, I don't know.
Horror
We'll
movie
see.
news.
Oh, that's
We
right.
have a horror movie news episode
that's
on
perfect.
Halloween.
That's
right?
what I'll be doing, then I'll be watching
I'll
that.
be dressed up of some sort. I don't know what yet.
Oh, you're doing one on actually Halloween the day.
We do, yeah, because our show's on Tuesday and Halloween's on Tuesday. So it was like, what? Serendipitous.
Doing most of my Halloween stuff on the weekend because
Sweet.
it is on a weekday this year. But I might be going to Horror Nights that night.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Maybe.
That would be great. Halloween Horror Nights Universal.
Yes, indeed.
I'll be doing that Wednesday night. I'm behind. I'm a little bit behind, but I have a bunch of great things lined up, so I can't wait.
Because you've got like one of the busiest calendars. You keep like a Halloween calendar here for
yes,
the LA area,
it's
don't you?
color coded and everything. You've seen it. It's a lot lined up day by day by day. We mix in the scary, we mix in the cute, we mix in the fun, some family stuff, and that way you get a little variety. You know?
It's exhausting though,
It is.
right?
It is. I know.
I know that I'm going to be spending the weekend down at, it's not that scary, but Stanley's LA Comic-Con.
I'll be there. I'll see you there.
Oh, great.
I always run into you guys at
I know.
cons.
That's how we got to know each other.
I
Was
know.
at the cons.
Yes.
And also, there's a chance that I'm going to be seeing Halloween in theaters over in North Hollywood next week. So I hope that happens.
That'll be so fun.
And I might be having a Halloween party. You guys are all invited. I'm trying to decide which night is
Everyone watching you mean?
Oh,
everyone.
please.
which one's the least offensive to everybody else. They got all these plans and everything. But something that I did this morning and that which was pretty cool. Myself and Cheeseman on the couch. Michael Myers on the couch. Let's reveal. All right,
Cheeseman, you're looking a little pale. Oh, okay, there you go.
All right. We took a trip down to.
Guys, look who it is.
We took
That was me all along.
big.
Oh, look at this.
Wait, look at
And
this.
I got a.
Wait. So
see it here.
don't say what it is yet. See if you guys can guess what the shirt is.
He told us out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we already know.
wait. Megan.
I'm guessing Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Mixed with, I don't know,
E.T..
E.T.? Yeah.
What a beautiful fusion.
Yeah.
It is very pretty.
So appropriate because
Both perfect for Halloween.
Stranger Things starts this Friday. The, season 2 of Stranger Things, which is going to be very exciting. But this, we have a couple of about 5 pictures I think that we sent in that we'll share with you guys. Right there, what you are seeing, that is inside the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
It's been taken over by the Jack
That's
Skellington.
a good picture, Jim. You did a good job.
I did a really good job,
especially
on
in
that.
the low lighting. Yeah.
Did you just go to Disney or did you pop over to California too?
Both of them. On your suggestion, we ran over to California Adventure as well. And here, this is also inside the Haunted Mansion.
This is literally my favorite thing that they do.
I
every
love
year.
this.
Can I throw some shade though?
Oh,
I was
no.
semi-disappointed though because I'd always gone to Disneyland at Christmas time and never during Halloween time. So I was actually thinking that there was
That
a
they did
different
something
thing,
different?
and I was like, "Oh, it's the same thing at Christmas." I see that all the time. So I was
That's
a little
not
disappointed.
the attraction's fault.
And this this
No,
is,
but-
I think this is California Adventure.
This
That-
is California Adventure.
That's Cheeseman out there with the Headless
By the
Horseman.
way, nice shirt.
Yay, throwback.
Yep.
All right. And,
Oh, that's over California too.
yeah, that's down with the Cars Land. Well,
They have
once
better
it-
decorations over at California though, yeah?
He
California
was
Adventure-
actually standing sideways like that too.
Yeah. No, I love Cars Land, and then outside the Haunted Mansion, I think that's all we have.
I mean, Disney still has good decorations, but I think California
it's
has
all over.
better Halloween ones.
Yeah,
Dude, now, quick question: have you guys ever done Mickey's Halloween party before? Again, that is a
no,
little
I
bit more
haven't.
family oriented.
I'm not against families.
They do. They don't do it for like regular nights when they're not doing the Halloween party, but they do a special thing with the fireworks show where they have the villains basically themed for the fireworks show, hosted by Jack Skellington.
Oh, that's great.
I
That's so
haven't been to
cool.
the Halloween party in a couple years, so I'm pretty sure they still do it, but like again, it's my favorite thing.
Don't they have a big Halloween parade and everything led by Jack Skellington and the Headless Horseman?
I
and
think that's in
Florida.
I think that's in Disney World.
Maybe
I
that's in
think
Florida.
Land,
Okay.
huh?
But yeah, they definitely have the Headless Horseman in Florida, and I'm super jealous of anybody who gets to go down there and see it.
I wish Mickey would just scare the kids. We were talking about that earlier. Imagine what you could do if Mickey and Donald could go, hop peekaboo, or like jumped out at the at the people, you know. Although it
Nice.
would terrify
That was-
kids, and they'd never like the characters again. But
That was really
I don't
good.
know.
like that
But
would be
love them
bad
more.
branding.
Mickey deserves to have a good time too, doesn't
Yeah.
It would only be impressive if he took out like a saw and started sawing off one of his ears.
he? Yeah.
It'd be really creepy.
So
He was actually there when you went in the park too, like dressed up in some kind of get up.
Kind of like a
usually-
dapper little Halloween
Yeah,
outfit.
you don't get to see. It's like, oh, done. Mickey's right here. I can leave now. You know, it's very rare.
So Megan, you were not. Wait. Were you on Scare Guy before? Yes, you
I have
were.
been once.
You,
Yes.
you were on Scare Guy before, so you have given us your story when the horror thing started for you. All right.
Indeed.
So everybody on here has been through the ringer with that.
Yes.
All right. So anything happening with Scream? Is that?
Silver Screams. Oh, we actually do have a horror Q&A coming up about something we're going to be talking about on this show. Happy Death Day.
All right.
It's gonna be a lot
Fantastic.
of fun.
Anybody else got anything exciting they want to share before we jump into the conventions here? Carrie?
Not Halloween.
You've always got something
I'm all
going on.
Halloween related. I'm like, no. Well, it's weird because I'm getting ready for a dance show that's Christmas themed, and we're practicing now.
Yes,
so it's
I've
a little
seen your
strange.
Instagram photos. I'm
Oh,
really
thanks.
excited.
But
about
it's
it.
kind of fun to share the horror stuff we did from our last show. So I'm like, well, we did some stuff in the last one because the last one's theme was cinema, so we had a horror
It was
genre.
specifically the horror genre.
This lovely lady came too.
I very much enjoyed the show. It was a hoot.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump in real quick, and we're going to go through
Yes.
some of these. We have a lot of conventions coming up, and we tried to fill up your calendar with all the cool stuff happening right before Halloween, but we actually have a couple of them after Halloween. And Spooky Empire, October 27th through the 29th in Orlando, Florida. They still bill themselves as the largest horror convention in the United States. HalloCon in Chattanooga, Tennessee, October 27th through the 29th. Walker Stalker Con down in Atlanta, Georgia, October 27th through 29th. You've got a house down there, right?
Yes, I do, as any true Walking Dead fan would. You know.
Wait, didn't you just tell us that you got a house down there and you guys are theming it after Walking Dead?
Specifically, it's right outside of Atlanta in a little town called Sonoy, Georgia, and that's where the Walking Dead set of Alexandria and Woodbury take place. And we're a few blocks away, and there's always a lot of fans, and everything is Walking Dead themed. It's wonderful. You guys can come. We'll have Christmas there. It'll be great.
That's awesome.
Sign me up. Oh my gosh.
Famous Monsters of Filmland Bash is happening October 27th through 29th in San Jose. Creepy Geek Con is something new. That's November 4th. It's after Halloween, and that's down near Helen, Georgia. Creepy Geek Con. We
With a
will have
K.
links. I have a little. I don't like people who spell things with K's just because they think
Like
it
Krispy
looks
Kreme?
Hey now.
cool. Yeah,
How
but
do you feel about Krispy Kreme?
That's my name. My
Okay.
name starts with a K. So.
well, no. But it's meant to start with a K. And then Hauntland, January 12th through 15th in New Orleans. This is this is a very large industry focused convention, so that's kind of cool as well. We're going to keep you guys abreast of that. Although we have had a whole lot of Scare Guy shows leading up to Halloween, we're going to actually continue after Halloween, so we're really excited about that. Probably not as many because we're going to take a little breather there. But hopefully you guys are subscribing to the channel because we will still be bringing you guys the best in scary and spooky experiences, films, TV.
And much more Walking Dead.
And much more Walking Dead, which we are about to jump into here in a second. Whew, I'm going to take a breather. So,
I was just thinking about wait, you were at Disneyland all day? Aren't you guys exhausted?
I am so
I actually
exhausted.
came back and I couldn't move, so I just laid there for like an hour after the heat and all
Have
that.
you guys
Oh,
been
was it
staying
Eventually I could
hydrated?
move again.
Yeah.
Plus, we saw your photos. You were posing so hardcore. It takes a lot out of you.
It does.
It was great. It was great. So, let's talk Walking Dead. Now, I know that everybody in the room is a Walking Dead fan. I know not everybody's completely caught up on what happened yesterday, but do we have your permission to discuss?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to
it.
give everybody out there fair warning. We will be discussing a little bit of yesterday's season premiere for The Walking
Wait,
Dead.
let's give him 3 seconds. Change now if you don't want to hear anything about it.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert. There we go.
Spoiler alert!
And
they've
we're only
come
going to
back
talk
in a
about it
few.
for about maybe 8 minutes. So you guys have about 8 minutes. We may not even talk about
Megan,
that
you and
long.
I will just lean back. We'll be like, all right.
Just
But
hit mute.
I'm
Just hit mute and watch our
go
faces.
on Twitter
Insta.
and just see what's going on
But
the
what
Twitterverse.
are the last things that you guys remember from when you were watching?
I'm like, what just got added to Netflix? I still have to catch up on. So I'm like 2 seasons behind.
Or 2 seasons behind. And
The
you,
last. Oh, go ahead.
No, but it's just one of those. I don't remember. It's been a while, so I'm like, I'm gonna get there.
The last episode I watched was when Negan rolled into town, took all of their mattresses, and then didn't even need them, and so he burned them. And Michonne was like, "You just made the list, buddy. That is not cool." Opposite of that, and that was the last thing I saw before life got real busy.
Angela, so why don't you kind of walk us through what happened yesterday? Wait. Actually, this season opener felt so different than last season's season
Last
opener.
season was the shocker where I think Walking Dead fans were divided into,
Yep.
I'm going to continue watching this show, and then half of everyone fell off and said, no, this is just, they went too far with
Yep.
Glenn and Abraham and you know, when I was rewatching some of
You're
last
talking about
season,
the episode where they brutally
Meeny,
beat
meeny,
them to
miny,
death
moe.
with the
Yes.
bat.
Yes, and it's
Jeez.
hard to watch, and it's still hard to watch
Yeah.
when I watch it over. I
It was
watch
gruesome.
it's hard. They show it. And I still have trouble watching it, basically. But that's where some Walking Dead fans just said, I can't. It's too much.
They lost a lot of
it's not-
fans that season because of
Which,
that.
if you read
My
the
dad
graphic-
has never
If you read
watched,
them- right.
but he watched the beginning of that, and then
That was
He
it.
thought
just
that was
Oh,
ruined.
that would be a bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's what happens in every episode.
And my nephew
We
and my
find out.
cousin, they were all watching it. My cousin had seen it, but my nephew and my dad hadn't seen it, and it's like, oh, this season
Great
premieres
first
on.
That was
Let's
their
watch
entry
it.
point.
Why would
Yeah,
you
they're
jump
like,
in
no.
there? But you know what? Also, if you've read the graphic novel is even more violent
Yeah.
than the show and darker subject matters. So I've always felt like
Well,
the
but-
show doesn't go there anyway.
But here's the deal: what happened to Glenn and Abraham? I think that most fans were shocked, not because
What's the main character?
well, not because it happened, but with the brutality in which they displayed it. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember what happened to the governor in the graphic novel was absolutely almost unshowable on film. I mean,
like
on
what
TV.
he
What
does?
happened?
No, what
What
Michonne
ended
did
up
to
happening.
him.
Yeah.
How
What
she
ended up
nailed
happening.
pieces
Yes.
of him
Yeah.
to
It
a
was
board.
marvelous after reading what other parts happened. So
No,
you're like,
he deserved every
yes.
stinking bit that he got, but they kind of toned that down a little
Yeah.
bit to make it something we could watch on TV.
Sure.
We thought that perhaps, or I thought that perhaps the brutality might have been toned down just a little bit for the opener, but it was the most brutal thing I'd ever seen. And the reason it stuck with me is like a week or two later, and I don't know if I DVR'd it, American Horror Story Roanoke had the same scene, somebody's head being smushed into a little pile of mess right there.
Gross.
So anyways,
But one
then
last
what
thing
was your
about the
reaction?
beginning before we go on to this. Like I felt like I witnessed something traumatic. I'm like, wow, I feel like weird for a few days after
Oh,
it.
I
Like
do
it's
too.
like because it's like
true.
you get so attached to these characters, and when they did something like that, it's like, I just feel like I watched a family member die or something. I feel weird. And then eventually it went away.
It is interesting to note that I think it was their highest rated episode ever, though.
Well, we needed to know what would happen.
Yes.
Who it would be. Because
After
people
that
were
cliffhanger, yeah.
suspecting.
So what happened yesterday?
Yes.
So yesterday was all out war.
Yeah.
That's what it was, because our big bad Negan, we want to see what happens to him, and will Rick get him? Because Rick keeps promising, I'm going to get him, I'm going to get him, I'm going to kill this
you.
guy, right?
Yep.
And we see whether but everyone rallied up, and it was a very elaborate plan.
Yeah, it wasn't an elaborate plan.
Wasn't it? It was just like, I mean, I don't know how many times they showed the watch. I don't know. I'm sure someone's counted out there how many times they showed the watch and the planning and everything. And we finally get to Negan and his crew, and we'll see what happens. All we know is that he's left with Father Gabriel in the trailer.
And we
at the
don't
end,
need to
but
spoil everything.
We
but,
don't need to, yeah.
But
yeah.
basically, at the end of last season, it still looked like Rick was about to die, his son was about to die, and then all three camps
We all came together.
Hilltop, the Saviors,
And Kingdom.
In the Kingdom, is that the three? Yeah, they all came together, joined together to fight against Negan, and it started last night. It started last season, and then last night they took it.
They actually went. They went to.
They took it to Negan's
Negan.
doorstep.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was a good episode, but I wouldn't say it's like a standout one. I don't know if it's because some of all the tragic things that we've happened. I'm almost going on like something's gonna happen or something.
You're
kind
waiting
of,
for something.
Yeah, they killed a lot of those, like the watching points and all that and stuff. But it would have been cool if they would at least killed one of those.
Oh, the lookouts,
The villain guys that go around that are kind of like, what else do you got? Like at least
one of
get
his
rid of one of those
lieutenants?
guys. Like yes,
One of his lieutenants
finally
that were
get
standing
to
on the-
have see what them at least get one of them would have been cool. And then I know how you can kill Negan. You put Rick there, like, let's have like a 5-minute conversation with you just standing out in the open, and then
Okay.
someone just snipes and
why.
kills you.
I'm going
Here's
to tell
why they
you
didn't
that
kill him.
almost ruined the episode for me. And we
Even
were
they were
watching
talking
it.
about a Talking Dead. They're like, just shoot him already.
We were having a viewing party, and I stopped it. I said, "Stop!" No, that just pissed me off so bad.
It did, but there's a reason for it when I was
Okay.
thinking about it. Because Rick, if you were to just kill Negan, which is what I would do, like, bam, bam, you're done.
Ratings.
But no, had he just
Yep.
killed Negan, he would have gone into that place, basically taking over what Negan had, keeping the fear going with Negan's followers, and then he sort of would have been the new Negan. Instead, he gave the lieutenants an opportunity and said, anybody who's inside who wants to join us, we don't want to kill you. We're giving you the chance to survive. So I think he was trying to avoid being the new dictator, being the new Negan.
Unnecessary
Maybe.
bloodshed.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes. I think that's why he gave him an opportunity. I
mean,
justified it that way.
And to be fair, again, having not seen it,
Tell us your thoughts on this
I'm
episode.
gonna tell you what I think about this show. I haven't watched it a season
That's
and a
what
half.
people do about trailers. They just watch a trailer and like, let me tell you about this movie.
Let
I'm
me
like,
tell you about this
"You
movie.
haven't
Why
even
it's
seen
stupid.
it."
I mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, you do take out a dictator like that. There's gonna be a power vacuum.
Yep.
Yeah. If Rick doesn't step in to take his place, somebody else
will.
will.
I know, but I'm sorry.
Jim loved all the monologues.
Oh, no,
Oh my gosh!
Every
How
actor is
many
going to like, I want to
Braveheart
do
speeches
Ezekiel's
can we
monologue
have?
and Rick's
Okay,
thing.
here's how they start
So
the episode.
there really is a scene where they're talking. They could have been shot. No,
So it's just a
Every-
monologue.
it starts
That was
episode
half
with,
the episode.
No,
Ezekiel.
here's what they were all at Negan's front door,
Yeah.
guns pointed at him. He walks out and just smiles, and is like, they have guns pointed at him. About 20.
But it's a beautiful friendship.
Oh, it's a beautiful. Anyways, they had like 20 guns pointed at him. They were like 20 feet away. They could have taken him down and all of his lieutenants. Like you said, they didn't want more bloodshed. The lieutenants
Plus, one of
served
them was
Negan
just
because they were
recently up
afraid
to,
of him.
series regular.
But Negan should have been
So you
taken
can't
out,
kill
and I lost. It lost believability at that moment. This episode did.
I'm probably gonna agree with you when I get there because
Yep.
that's one of the most annoying things in any horror or
Shoot
drama thing.
Shoot
When
her!
and you're like, or at least
But-
shoot him in the knee so they can't run after you.
Yep. And they let him
Yeah.
walk around and prance around, and you know how Negan gives his long speeches.
I have to give my long-winded speech
Yes.
as I walk and sort of strut and just generally speaking,
I
you're
didn't
very
realize
charming.
until the after show.
Yeah.
Negan always walks with his.
Leads with his pelvis.
Yeah. He
leads with his
pelvis.
pelvis.
That's a character choice.
His most,
I mean, an actor.
his most proud asset. He leads with it.
Damn hips,
And then he
though.
does, and then,
Damn
and
It's
then
bad.
he does the knee dip. The
Yeah, I never knew that was
very
a thing.
graceful.
there's a
man.
thing. little.
I never knew that was a thing.
No wonder
But
he's
Gabriel
so
stepped up, though. I'm
my
like,
goodness.
I'm finally liking him again. Now you're gonna kill him.
Well,
Maybe,
because
maybe
of that,
we'll see.
We just
They
hate
captured him.
Hilltop's Gregory.
We don't know anything
To
else.
be fair, how is he still alive?
Oh, I know.
I totally thought he'd be dead by now.
Dude,
Dude, every
Gene's still
character
alive.
Walking Dead
Everybody
should be
deserves to be
dead by
redeemed.
now. I'm gonna go in the middle of the woods to go to the bathroom instead of staying right next to camp where everyone is and be safe about it. No. That's from the
This is where we
season
had
1 that
to-
drove me nuts of really? We all know there's dangerous things out there. I'm gonna go in the middle of the woods, guys. Actually, I'm not gonna tell anybody I'm leaving. I'm not gonna take any weapons with me or any sort of lights.
What
And
was,
I'm-
wait, what was the reason he was sneaking off in the middle of the woods?
Father Gabriel?
Gabriel, he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Oh.
He was in a car, and then he saw Gregory from Hilltop. That are you talking about from last night's
I'm a
episode?
little bit confused about what was going on there.
So the group all separated, and he got and then Father Gabriel got in a car. Then he sees Gregory from Hilltop because he was pushed down the stairs, and he was like, "Well, damn it, I'm gonna have to go and help him now." And then that bastard got in the car. You know what I mean? Like what were we thinking? That
I do remember
the
that.
leader of Hilltop is
Oh,
a
it's
coward.
annoying. It was
what do you think
annoying.
he's gonna do?
It wasn't. Speaking about
What
the
about-
leader of Hilltop, what's the guy's name?
Gregory. Oh, the actor or the Gregory.
The character is it Gregory?
Gregory, right?
Like the older gentleman.
Yeah.
What?
He's
The
great.
older
He's
gentleman.
fantastic, but his character, he's a coward. That's what he is.
Oh, he
in
was
the
such a
show.
coward. And last night, he's probably. I hate ruining it for
He's
you.
more hated than
for it,
Eugene
okay.
right
He's
now.
more
from the
hated than
fans.
anything because Gabriel
But
was
we
sitting,
love Eugene
Gabriel
still.
was
We love you.
escaping. He was escaping from this misguided attempt
We
to take down
understand.
Negan, and he saw what's his name again? What's the
Gregory.
Gregory
Just say
was
the Hilltop
lost,
leader.
and he was there with the zombies and was about to be killed. So
Gregory?
Gabriel stops, gets out of his car to go save him, and Gregory runs and steals his car and runs off
Yeah.
and leaves Gabriel there.
with an
What
unbelievable amount of
a
walkers.
jerk.
An unbelievable amount of walkers. So what's he do? He goes and hides in the trailer. Guess who's in the trailer? Negan.
But let's talk about this. Guess who's taking over now? Maggie. What do you think about that? Maggie now stepping up to
Because-
Maggie's
the-
stepping up. She's become the leader
I don't know if
now.
you'll like this when you get to it, but well, that ties into the whole time cuts, and time is a very important theme, I think, in last night's episode. We see a future version of Rick. So whether we don't know if it's a dream or if it's another timeline that we're following, right? So yeah, we see an older version of Rick, maybe a
They
few years
split the
in the
timeline
future.
last night.
Wow. That's
and then-
dangerous.
and then
That's
they
what
cut
Lost
back.
did.
Haircut
That's what
is
But
They-
terrible.
you hated
but
something
they
about
cut
it.
Then they cut back to present day Rick with red teary eyes. So I think he's envisioning a future, a tomorrow.
He's
That's
trying
why-
to.
and
I think
that-
so
with
too.
a very bad haircut.
Did you
And that
see?
beard,
And
the
beard.
Viking,
They
the
gave
Viking
Rick
beard.
He
the
aged
worst mullet ever.
Terribly. He was worse than any president ever. It's like he aged 20 years
stressful
where it's like,
time.
and you saw Judith because it was only like 8 years later because they're like 10 years old.
Yeah,
Judith
she
or
might have
something.
been
So
a
it
few
couldn't have been
years.
that long. But then he turned into Santa Claus like Tim Allen like overnight.
Well,
That-
it's
that was
a
on my list, too.
stressful
So-
decade.
So-
I actually haven't been reading the comic books, but I did hear that there is a 5-year jump in
Yeah, I
time
think
in the comic books as well.
Oh wow!
So it
I
would
know.
make
so they're following.
Probably
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you telling us he lives another 5 seasons?
Well, I don't know if you know, but the Rick or Andrew Lincoln himself has said, and the showrunners have said that, or is it just Robert Kirkman that said Rick is not going to live, and we don't know when, but he's not.
Well, he
that's what
can't-
they've said.
Wait, what?
wait.
What? Oh my.
No, no.
they've
He
said
can't
he's
live
not gonna-
I didn't hear that.
forever. He can't live forever.
Right,
He
we don't know.
eventually
This
will die.
season, he
I
eventually
kind of-
will
Is he
die.
going to become a
That's-
headless Herschel?
I kind of figure that's the end of the series. Because
But
the
did it-
entire point of the comics was let's stay with this one person for
Yep.
as long as we can
It's
in the
about him.
zombie apocalypse.
But did you catch what Michonne said to Carl last night when Rick left the compound and he left Michonne and Carl and she says, "It's your show now." It's your show.
Yeah.
Obviously meaning you're taking over and all that kind of thing. But that could also mean, hey,
Yeah.
we could be following.
Sorry,
Carl.
Dad. It's my
Yeah.
show now.
Sorry, Dad. I've been getting acting lessons and
All right.
I'm much better now. So yeah.
So I'm super excited.
He's great now.
I am
Chandler
super
is.
excited about seeing where they go. I was not overly excited about this episode because of that one thing, which kind of ruined it for me. But then,
A lot of people stepped up. Morgan, he's back.
Oh,
in a
Morgan,
good way.
I love that Morgan's just
Morgan!
kick ass all the
Yeah.
time now.
Yeah.
Carol was back in a big way.
We
I
all
know.
love
Still
Carol.
alive. I'm just happy to here?
No,
All these
she
people
died.
are-
She died in the mattress fire. I'm sorry. She was lying on a Tempur-Pedic, and it was all over for her.
Everybody's so
Oh, I
bipolar in the
Just
zombie
thinking.
world. One minute they're like, I'm not doing anymore. Hey, I'm back. No, I'm
I
in it
made you
again. Like,
cookies. I'll kill you.
yeah.
Good
We
for Carol.
find out
Just
that
look at the
Maggie's having
flowers.
triplets.
She was looking at a flower again.
Final thoughts on last night's episode.
Oh, yes, the throwbacks to
Keep
the
watching.
pilot. The throwbacks to...
Oh, the throwbacks to the pilot. Now,
Yes,
mention
the pilot
those.
episode, a lot of Carl going through the gas container through, and then also peeping into a car. I noticed that was really similar to a picture shot with Rick in the first episode of season 1, and then also looking underneath the car, placing the hat down on the ground.
It was delivering.
Oh.
And
Carl.
then the little girl.
Yeah, Carl was carrying out Rick's actions from the pilot. It was a
Yeah.
And I'm
direct.
sure that's on
Yeah.
YouTube
But
But
somewhere.
has it? How well do you know that that's those scenes?
Well, they were talking about it beforehand that they were going to do that, and they talked about it in the
okay,
show
'cause
afterwards.
I don't know
too.
if I just started watching it, I'd be like,
No, the first one
That's
I only
delightful,
recognized 2. I did recognize 2 from the pilot, and then I said, I wonder if they did this on purpose. So then I looked, of course, and then they showed the other 2 shots, and I was like,
Got it.
oh.
Well, on the
okay.
after show afterwards of Talking Dead, they talked about how it was an homage to the pilot because this was the 100th episode as well. So it was a big one.
wow.
I'm thinking that, like, from what I just heard of that, and also I have heard about the whole shot-by-shot comparison and everything.
Uh-huh.
So it would go to reinforce the point of it's Carl's show now. It
Oh.
started
That's
with
what-
it started with
it's his
it
pilot.
started with
Well,
Rick,
It's his pilot,
and
guys.
Carl's gonna take on the mantle.
This is not a spoiler. This is a prediction.
This is it.
All right.
You heard it here
Theory.
first.
Heard it here first. All right.
And that's not secretly me talking. That's Anthony. the
Oh yeah,
producer.
Anthony. and,
My voice
You're a
didn't suddenly
ventriloquist.
change.
and Anthony,
the
we're gonna
voice of
mix
God.
up our
Michael
Runchy
Myers.
just a little bit because we're gonna save the Michael Myers stuff until the end. So if you don't mind, we're gonna talk about a film that just came out last weekend. I think most of us, has everyone in the room seen it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day. It's another Jason Blumhouse production, and it's already made like 45 something million dollars on a budget of like 5. I think they stopped
Nice.
Yeah.
something like
did
that.
well.
And you guys have talked about this. Have you talked about?
We talked about it a little bit on Horror Movie News.
So,
Did you
okay,
guys like it on horror movies?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, same here.
I thought it was very fun.
Same here.
so without
loved
giving
it.
away too many of the spoilers
Oh yeah,
for
no,
this
we
one.
tried really hard to not.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for people because it's been
It's a-
out, but
Yeah, can you
But it's a
go ahead
fun
and give
one.
us like an idea of what the show is?
I mean,
the film?
something I appreciated because everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's like Groundhog's Day. In the movie, they're like, so this is like Groundhog's
Yeah.
Day.
And
It's like,
yeah.
yes. So
They-
it's very
they call-
self-aware. It's very good.
It knows you've seen movies like this
Yes.
before.
I loved I did like the different kind of deaths that happen. There's an awesome edit on one part where she gets hit in the head and falls into the
beautiful.
pillow.
That
Yeah.
was beautiful.
That was
Loved
good.
it.
That was
Loved
great.
it. Then Anthony on the show was saying he wanted a little more deaths, but I thought the pacing of them were good because it was like slow at the beginning, then they speed up a bunch like montage, and then they slow it down and space it out again. Because I think it's one of those like, yeah, they could have done more, but then maybe we'd be like, all right, is the movie
They did it
over
well
yet?
because they didn't show every single thing that happened on her walk home.
Yeah, they skip ahead.
They did a great job.
They start
Actually,
skipping
I wanted to see more of her dying. In,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was
gruesome
saying.
ways.
I agree.
Because like
each
you know
death.
they would like cut away and everything. You
I'm
know,
sure
but
there's gonna be like a director's cut version where
There'll
they
be a
That would
couple
be great.
more.
There's just
Boom, boom.
more.
But
to the
how
death
many
montage.
more? Are you wanting like 5 more?
No, it's not. It's not
Iconic
that.
deaths.
It's not that I don't want more. I just want to see her actually die. Like, cause you know how they do
But
this.
how many
Oh, you mean
more?
the camera
is what
would
I'm
be
saying.
on her?
Like, I want to see that bong go into her face. Like.
Oh, right. 'Cause he just
Oh,
needs
you
to
didn't
watch
like the
it.
cutaway?
No, I
No,
mean
they don't
it's a
have
cheap
a-
it's a cheap way to show a death, but like
Oh no, I loved it because then it's hurrying up the pace and it
Yeah.
does it, and then that's when she's dead, so we don't.
We see her reaction
it's fine.
to it.
He
when she
wanted
wakes
to
up.
watch her burn.
Yeah, he just.
Nah, it's fine. I
I
think.
wanted to see something beautiful destroyed.
Oh,
I'm not worried about our engineer.
I know.
Yeah. Who's that? What'd you do?
It's the voice of the devil.
I will
Yes.
say, without
Well,
giving
hello,
anything
beautiful.
away, without giving anything away,
Yeah.
I love how they set up stakes within a time loop scenario because in other movies you're like, oh, whatever if she
Oh,
keeps dying
yes,
because
I do like that.
you know she'll just start back over until she eventually
Yes.
figures it out
Because
I
of
love
the scar tissue.
and
the
they
setup,
are
right? With
they
the-
create again no spoilers
Oh, okay.
but
Then
they,
I won't say anything more than that.
They got that
create-
from Butterfly Effect, I
yeah,
think.
they create a scenario where
it's not unlimited.
it's not unlimited and there is a time limit factor
Where she
there.
needs to find her
Exactly.
killer. So that's,
Yeah.
You don't get unlimited lives like in a cheat code in a video game.
Yeah.
It
She
doesn't
did-
work that way.
She
like
does.
when I used to use Game Genie for everything. Remember?
So wait, what was that, Anthony?
I was about to say she does hints in the movie that she might be like a cat and has 9 lives. I didn't count how many times she dies, but
That's
what if
true, I
it's
didn't
close
count
to
how many.
9?
It'd be interesting.
Maybe.
Well, let's not go into it a little bit
yeah.
more.
Oh wait, no,
because-
Anthony, no, she does because she says 15 or 16 days as this has been happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other thing too, they do. Did you guys guess the killer?
No.
I didn't guess it, but I wasn't shocked.
At one
I didn't
point,
guess it.
I'm one of those people who, at the beginning of the movie, when they're setting up
Yeah.
all the red herrings and
Yeah.
they're setting up potential
Is this
people.
another spoiler alert time?
No.
No,
Do we have
no,
need to
no.
warn people?
But I don't.
I
I
give
want
it
to
away.
talk about this though. Spoiler.
I go.
So what?
Oh, go ahead.
We'll do
Wait,
a
wait,
not
just
yet.
don't say the
Tell me
killer.
what,
Wait,
we'll
why
do
don't we
a-
do it at the very, very end
Yes.
so people can?
We'll do the 1 minute spoiler at the
At
end.
one
Yeah.
point, I did guess. I bet it's this person, but I did that with everyone who got introduced.
I got it wrong
so,
a few times.
So, long story short, I didn't guess.
And then only because I noticed and it was a little thing, and I'm like, I don't mean to pick a fight, but I was semi disappointed that every single person of color in that movie kind of sucks. They
Oh,
do
the
not
casting?
speak.
Oh, the casting
and-
or the writing?
No,
of their
the
characters?
people, anybody who's non-white in this film either never speaks,
All both of them.
they're a loser, or they're not cool, or they're not that nice.
Which is weird because
get-
even the one in the cool sorority was nerdy, like the unpopular.
They're not that
nerd.
nice.
No.
Or they barely
you're-
get any
you know,
lines.
It's a good point.
To kind of follow that up, before I ever saw the
trying to
movie, a
think.
friend of mine saw it before I did, and I said, "How is it?" And this is coming from a guy too. He's like, "It's a fun movie. You will have a good time with it, but it's a movie where you can tell it was written by a man about a bunch of college girls." And I was like, and that was in the back of my mind the entire movie, and I'm like, yeah, it's a little disingenuous when it comes to that. I find her character arc great, and I like a lot of the story beats, and I think it's very funny. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, yep, that is a dude writing for a woman.
Well, because even at
Like
the
most of
sorority,
TV.
there's the Asian girl outside.
That's what I said,
Never
that-
says a line.
No, she was just listening to
Yeah,
funky
she listens.
music
she's listening to her
a loser,
K-pop, which
but-
I was excited about.
Oh, that's
she
right.
was. But the thing is, she's in a cool sorority, but she's still like a loser, which is
or
weird.
she doesn't
like,
get vote. She doesn't get a
You
voice.
could-
and
make-
neither does the girl who gets who with a chocolate
made
milk,
fun
chocolate
of.
milk girl.
Yep. And the Asian guy roommate is kind of like a dork. He's
You
not
could
cool.
make
Yeah.
the argument that there is an undercurrent of racism within this particular school system, but that doesn't.
No,
that-
it just
that-
was one of
I
those.
think it
We know how
Within the-
we know how to fix this.
I think
you know,
the
they need
movie
to
was
remake
just.
the movie with me as the. No,
I think
absolutely.
it's possible that the movie was just racially tone deaf, because there's also that one scene of the same I can't remember her name in the film, but it was the same black girl
Tree?
with the milk.
Yes.
And there's a point where the main character actually smacks her over the head because she thinks it's a killer. And they just kind of play it off as a joke, like, "Oh man, I didn't see you there. Oh, I'm so sorry." And it's just like, really, like.
Oh, Becky? Was it, I don't know.
It might, I don't
think
know.
it was
Something like
Becky, yeah.
And then her roommate's kind of grumpy, so it's like nobody is that. So again,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
one of those. It's not like the main thing that bothered me about the movie, but while I'm
And
watching,
it's not like
I was
they're
like,
actively negative portrayals.
That's a good point. I
either.
feel like I didn't pick up on that, but now that you mention it,
I didn't pick up on that either.
This is a problem of the genre as a whole.
Well,
though,
no,
guys.
there's some that
as a
are-
genre, we need to step it up.
there's some that are much better, and they could have just done a couple little tweaks to make those people a little more interesting. But overall, I will say I love the movie. Thought it was super fun, great slasher movie. But
From
I
the
was
same
disappointed.
producers who brought us Get Out.
Yeah, so
And-
you're like,
yeah. Yeah.
You should know better.
yeah.
Because I listened to the Nerdist podcast. They had Jason Blum on there the other day talking about this film. And what was cool is, and this is one of the reasons why I think it kind of worked. I personally didn't find it particularly scary.
No, not really
It's
scary.
funny.
It's a funny
fun.
film.
It's a
Yeah.
horror comedy.
But
There's
you
some
can,
suspense at the beginning
Yeah.
when she, like her first death or something was a little bit like, you know.
Music box.
But the
Yes.
thing that was interesting was, like they said, they developed this. It was a story that the horror just happened to be a part of it. Like they wanted it to be an
Yes.
interesting story. And what was cool was we talked about her story arc. And I don't
Yeah.
think this is too spoiler, but she had relationship issues with people at school, with her parent, with her dad, and with just who she was. And so like she had to go through a personal journey and change who she was before she could figure any of this stuff out. And that's what I really liked about the film. It was the mystery aspect of it.
If she hadn't been such a good actress, like this film could have easily fallen apart.
I think so too.
I
Yeah,
did
she
like
was
her a
great.
lot.
She's fantastic.
Yes, she was good. It was hard in the beginning for a while for her to be
She's
likable. 'cause
pretty
she-
unlikable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
she
that's
was
the
super.
point,
Because
though.
usually you start off like a movie, especially horror, like, oh, I like these people, I don't want them to die, but you kind of like go for it, like
Yeah.
for a while, and then eventually she became kind of redeemable and likable, and then you kind of
part
start
the-
to care about
Part
her.
of the crux of the film is that when she finally sits down to create a list of suspects, she's like,
Too many.
I've made many enemies.
Yeah.
Which is it's probably like one of the turning points in the film, which I really loved. So do we need any spoilers? Did you have something you want to talk
I
about?
have a
Spoiler?
question. So
Wait. Is this a
Hold on.
spoiler?
Question with a spoiler?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
Anthony,
spoilers.
spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler
It
alert.
has been.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
There you go.
Spoiler alert!
all right. So it was the roommate dressed in the costume doing all the killing, or did she tell the guy to do it, and
I
then he
feel-
went around?
I feel like it was a combination, depending on the iteration of
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
That sometimes it was the roommate, sometimes it was the escaped convict.
The earlier times, I think it was the roommate, and then when
She
she,
said she
gets to
figured
the
it.
hospital, that's when he starts. I
Okay,
think,
because
getting
I was
into the
watching
picture.
body movements, and some of them seemed a little more masculine, where I was like, that looks like a
Yeah,
guy,
no,
so I was
Casting,
kind of...
they did good job because the whole time I was like, that body could have been a man or a woman. They had a good job. Somebody was like, it was the tennis shoes that they felt through
But I
them.
thought the way they walk, though, at times, I was like, that's...
I spent the entire movie interpreting the mannerisms as very
Yeah.
masculine. At one point, I was like, "Those don't look like girlish hands," but
Right.
Yeah.
But you
But
know,
yeah,
it's funny.
it really
I
depends
didn't
on
even
the
think
run.
it's
about
both.
that. But
Yeah.
you know, when I do, okay, so I directed a play last month where the killer was a female, but I chose to put a male in the suit because one of the themes was when we think of victimizers, we think of a white male. We think of a male doing the victimizing of women. We don't think of women victimizing other women.
Yeah.
That's so I wanted it to be from like an audience perspective where like no matter what's underneath there, that's what we automatically go to think. That a guy is gonna rape a girl, a guy is gonna, like do all these things, especially in a college campus. So I almost don't mind if they stuck a male actor in there with masculine moves, because that's what we were thinking anyway.
Yeah, because that's what threw me off, man. Because I was thinking it was the boyfriend the whole time, and then she'll just
Oh,
wake
same
up and
here.
then freaking
Oh,
stab the
really?
guy. Like,
Same.
it's
Oh,
over!
I spent the entire movie going,
Yeah.
"It's Carter."
I
Yeah.
thought the
Did you
same
guys-
thing.
what
The
was-
whole
Like some
movie.
guy named Carter, of course
No,
he's
never.
the killer.
Plus, what was he doing? I was like, he's stashing that mask because every time she wakes
Every
up,
time.
he's stashing something in that cupboard.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, we're still in spoilers. Somebody,
Oh, yeah.
the
Are we?
person
Yeah.
I saw it with, felt when she made the list that was a giveaway because she never wrote the roommate's name down.
Oh,
Ah.
I thought that was good. So
Which I didn't
we-
notice. I'm like, maybe she's not done. And every time she comes back, the list is the same.
so we're
Well,
still.
she writes it down and then X's through it.
No, but
I
it
guess.
shouldn't be there the next day.
I
Yeah.
agree. Still in spoiler.
But whatever.
Still, my last spoiler. I did not. I wasn't really buying the whole. There's a serial killer. It just happens to be in the hospital on campus, and like the first, like I was asking, like the first.
Seems like the last place you would want to leave a serial killer.
It was just bizarre to me, like because I remember asking, wait, where did they first meet the serial
I felt
killer?
they
Where-
stopped
what-
in transit. Like he wasn't really supposed to be there. Like it was a temporary.
But when did she find out it was here? She was just watching the news,
was
and he
watching
just happened
the
to.
diner.
It
She's
showed up
watching
on
the news.
TV for a hot second when the power
Yeah,
was
it
coming
was
in.
all
Yeah.
very quick.
And
Some of the
then-
stuff.
It definitely like planted the seed for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it was in the diner. Where
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
but-
she actually listened through it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. One other thing, it didn't bother me, but the person I saw it with was kind of annoyed that, like, essentially she created her own conflict by being so evil to her roommate.
Yeah.
But I was like, she never was aggressively
Right.
mean to her roommate. She
She
just
wasn't.
was. Her roommate is giving, and it's like, but if you're with that kind of a person, you can't do that and expect anything in return.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think our hero lady is perfect, but I don't think the roommate.
That and her
You know?
roommate
I know.
clearly
She's
latched
gonna
onto
kill her?
something arbitrary.
Yes, but I like to make fun of
she
it though.
goes, yeah.
She's like, really?
That's why you're
Over
killing
a
me?
guy?
I know.
Yeah.
That's why.
So,
you killed-
Anyway.
But they didn't explain what I think was weird is that it's sort of like real quick the deja vu. They don't really explain what's supernatural or strange about.
No, but that
it,
opens
right?
up for the second sequel.
I read that the sequel is.
Yeah, I read that too.
Sequel's going to go into
okay.
Because
that.
they
Alright,
don't
cool.
explain it.
I'm actually
And the
100%.
mom connection somehow, or this
There
bracelet,
should've been
or
more
something.
I think I'm about to agree with you.
I'm actually okay with the lack of explanation
Yes.
because
Me
in
too.
Run Lola Run
Yep.
and
Yep.
Groundhog Day, there is no explanation
Exactly.
given. It's just
It
these
is what it is.
characters want something or they need to learn something.
Yeah.
And the second they get what they want or learn what they need to learn, that's when time allows them to move forward.
Yes.
And I'm 100% okay with that being just it. You don't
Agreed.
get an explanation.
Yep.
That's,
Agreed.
and I didn't know there was a sequel. Exciting. So we recommend this movie to people to,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
to watch.
Oh, it's a fun movie.
Yes.
It's a
It's
fun movie.
fun.
I think it had its.
Perfect time for Halloween.
Do you have anything real quick while we finish up? Anything you
So
did
what'd you think about the girl's motive at the end?
The doctor. Ooh, I like
He was fun, huh?
So
Just because he
stupid.
was so funny. I don't know.
No, it's one of.
Was
yes.
he that stunning that, it's like...
I mean, he was
you
handsome.
stole- yeah.
He's good looking.
It was no. What?
I mean, I wouldn't kick him out of bed.
No,
but
I think what she's saying. He's saying. Do you think that was?
Because I heard
No,
some
but
people
there's-
online were
but there's
critical,
exactly
like,
the
that's
man.
what the motive?
I was going to say
Over
Red
a
Man.
dude?
Written by a man.
But that's what they say in the movie. Though
professor
our
in
main
school.
character goes, really? That's the reason?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then that's good. That
Yeah,
she,
yeah.
I mean, that's not the main one. It's also like all these other things. But if the roommate's going to that extent to kill someone over that, the roommate's already like, something's wrong. Yeah.
Cuckoo pants. Yeah.
Something snapped.
So I think anybody would enjoy seeing this movie. I really do.
Yes.
We're like,
Good times.
Spoiler is
Go
off.
see it.
Spoiler is off. No more spoilers of anything
no
tonight.
more white males. Oh wait, sorry. No, go ahead. I'm just joking.
All right.
We do have a
We lose
question
part
from
of
a
our
viewer,
No, I know, it's
but
what I
it does
was
go back to Walking
Oh.
Dead, so just probably one of us answer. Which I think we kind of answered this. Are the producers of The Walking Dead still insisting on keeping the show going with no end in sight? I checked out the show once, and I found that out. It's falling into soap opera territory, and this is from Ghoulish Grin Films.
I think the answer is yes. They said last night that they hoped that this 100th episode was just the beginning.
They did say that, yeah.
Disagree.
Okay.
I've heard before
would,
they'd like to go 20 episodes. 20 seasons.
I would. I'm sorry, I can't. I love The Walking Dead, but in my mind, the best stories are ones that have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yep.
And they want to
mean-
end it at 20th season.
Ongoing continuities are fine in certain series. I'll accept it, but honestly, some of the best told television shows are ones that are done in 2 seasons intentionally. So, like
Hashtag
From the start, they
Breaking
knew
Bad.
it would be.
hashtag Gravity Falls. Like you can.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes.
Battlestar Galactica.
Right?
But you know they
6.
are linking Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead
Yep.
with a character. So I feel like they'll do whatever they can to
I don't need a
keep it
Walking Dead
going.
expanded universe. Oh my God. It sounds so exhausting.
They're going to do Walking Dead Island. Next, Walking Dead condos. All right. So I think we are finished talking about horror
Yes.
movies this week, except for one more. We'll talk about that at the very end.
Well, can I do a quick honorable mention?
Yes, please.
You guys, anyone catch The Babysitter?
yes!
Oh
Not
my
yet.
God.
Not
Wait,
yet.
it's on-
So
wait, it's on
good.
Netflix, right?
It's so
I
good.
So good.
Bonkers.
I liked
It's
it more
fun.
than Happy Death Day, and I believe I saw them like within 24
Really?
hours of each other.
Okay, so we gotta
Yeah.
watch it
The
tonight.
Babysitter.
It's much better
It's
than
very
Happy Death Day.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Is it a Netflix specific
It's a
film?
Netflix
Yes.
original movie.
I heard
yeah.
it was garbage.
No.
Well, that person is garbage. I'm sorry.
Them be fighting words.
The main
Wow.
kid is like so good. It's just super fun.
The way it starts and everything,
Yes.
all the little things, they drop seeds throughout the whole film, and they come back around, and it pays off, and it's just really good.
Ditto.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
going to
check
watch
I'll
it.
check it out.
One of the things that we've been doing here in the Scare Guys, we've been trying to let people know of some experiences and things, haunted attractions that you guys can experience, and we've gone to a lot of us have gone to Halloween Horror Nights, not Scary Farm, which was an awesome experience. Some of us are heading down to Orlando. Do you guys hear that weird?
Yeah,
sound?
I was like, is someone touching my
butt.
ear?
It felt like someone's grabbing me. This is creepy.
Nah, it was me putting on the headset in the booth.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys. I heard Anthony talking about Babysitter, and I had to jump in.
Oh.
We watched it together. Dude, that movie is sick. Like, definitely check it out, dude. It's hilarious.
Watch it.
I'm sold.
Heard it here on the Popcorn Talk.
I know.
Watch that now
I might
on
watch
Netflix.
it tonight.
Yeah.
But anyways, we were talking about there's been a lot of articles that have come out recently about the scariest, best haunted attractions in America. And I'm just going to go over here. This is kind of a little thing.
I just wish they weren't so expensive.
They are so expensive. Halloween is big business, according to, this is, who did I get this from? Aren't you so glad I'm so organized?
Yeah.
According to HalloweenWorld.com.
I think Haunted World.
Haunted World.
Hauntworld.com.
Just kidding.
It's one of the largest publications and websites devoted to the haunt industry. And they say Halloween is big business, according to HauntWorld. It's right there. .com, the industry's leading website about it.
It'd be cooler if it was Halloween.
Commerce of Halloween in the U.S. should exceed $10 billion this year in 2017.
Wow.
And one of the largest growth areas in Halloween is the explosion in the number of quality commercial haunted house attractions, more than $1 billion.
Believe it.
Of the 10,
That does
yeah.
seem low for me. Out of the 10 billion, only 1 billion is haunted attractions, because it is expensive. But anyways, it's now, visiting a haunted attraction is now, according to the site, the single most popular way to celebrate the holiday.
Yeah. That
Yep.
makes sense.
So, like, here is their list of what they have deemed the scariest haunted houses in the country. And
None of them are in California, guys. Ugh, step up.
I know, this is crazy. Netherworld, Atlanta, which has made a couple of the lists. Netherworld, Atlanta, the 13th Gate in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati. Have you been to that one, Cheese?
I have not.
Erebus in Pontiac, Michigan, which it holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest walk through haunted attraction. It's
Wow.
4 stories tall and a half a mile to walk through. Erebus in Pontiac. The
Wow.
Headless Horseman in Ulster Park, New York. And have you guys heard of any of these? I
Well,
haven't.
it's not on this list, but you just made me think of that. That's not really a haunted attraction, but it's a horror theater experience. Is Sleep No More? Have you guys done that in New York? Sleep No More is you're all given a mask, and it's a multi-level building that you walk through, but there's people enacting a play in different areas, but nobody speaks, and you get to walk and follow whoever you want. And there's just weird stuff happening the whole time, and you're not supposed to talk either.
Now-
It's very fun and bizarre.
Real question.
Eyes
Real
wide
quick
shut.
question. Oh, go ahead.
Did you say
I'm
eyes
just
wide
saying,
shut?
weird
much.
people wearing masks.
Yes.
Real
standing
quick
around.
question. Are these actual haunted places, and they're not necessarily like setting up sort of kitschy Halloween oriented
I
things?
checked
Are
out
these actual
every one of
haunted
these
places?
It says
on the
haunted
first
houses.
list. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
These
themed
are
attractions.
Oh, no,
these
these are
sounds like-
attractions.
yeah,
Themed
you-
attractions.
I was
Paid
gonna say,
tickets.
how is the Queen Mary and like the Winchester House
No,
not on?
yeah.
No,
No,
but
no.
here's what's
Attractions.
interesting.
You
Let me
pay to
read.
go.
So, Nashville Nightmare is number 7.
Okay.
Number 8, Bennett's Curse in Baltimore. I'm only going to do 10. The Darkness in St. Louis, Missouri, and Field of Screams in Mountville, Pennsylvania. So that's their top 10. But if you look down, there's another list way down at the bottom called Funtober. These are the most popular ones according to Facebook. Halloween
I've
Horror
been to
Nights.
3.
That makes more
Halloween
sense.
Horror Nights right at the top in Hollywood. Halloween Horror
Okay.
Nights Orlando. And then there's Not Scary Farmers on there. Hollow Scream Busch Gardens in Tampa, Florida. Fright Dome at Circus in Las Vegas. The 13th floor in San Antonio. That 13th floor is on like every list. So that must be a good one. Erebus. Let's just say I have a whole
No,
lot of
13th
lists.
floor and 13th gate are different.
Oh,
Yeah,
they like that
but-
13, huh?
I'm just picturing the 13th
Oh, but
floor
Haunted
being
Mary
a
is
David
a-
Pumpkins
so,
sort of
What are some of you
attraction.
guys' favorite? If you were to say, hey, you've got to try out these haunted attractions, what would they be?
It kind of depends on what you're looking for.
yes.
If you're looking for something a little bit more like, again, family
How was
oriented, Disneyland, obviously.
Yes.
But
How was the haunted hayride?
I enjoy it. It's not for everybody though. If you're accustomed to doing like Halloween Horror Nights and not Scary Farm, the haunted hayride is probably gonna bore you a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a tradition for me and my friend to go, just like going to Halloween Horror Nights is. It's one of those things where I do it every year.
Well, it's got to be cold, and you got to be like wearing warm
Well, you have- and
clothes
you have,
to
like,
have
the
the real
cider
experience
and-
and the hot
Yeah.
cider and all
I
that.
definitely get hot cider
Yes.
when we get done with it. And we have it kind of down to an art where we get in, do it early, and then we just kind of hang out. And they do have maze attractions. And for the last 2 years, they actually kick you off the hayride to go through a little maze-esque area. So they added that component to it for the last 2 years. And actually, this is the first time in a long time I've seen a unified theme with the haunted hayride, because they've got the unified theme of clowns. Usually you go from attraction, like, set piece to set piece, and there's no unifying thing. You're like, okay, I guess I'm here now. So it was kind of cool to see a unified theme this year, too.
You
Knots.
have Knots. Now,
I go to Knots every year.
Knots was the most
my
fun I
thing.
had so far this year. Hands down.
I was his tour guide.
Yes, and you have some suggestions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out in Corona, there's like a farm. It's dark. It's
Is it
scary.
the
It's
Haunted
called,
Vineyard?
No, but now I'm gonna go there and we can maybe toast up some wine. Sounds good to me. I was like,
can I go to the haunted?
the more we drink, the more scared we are. No, so no, it's called Coffin Creek, and it's.
Oh, I think you talked about this.
It's
Keep
so
going.
good. I'm gonna get out there. I think I'm gonna try to go on Sunday, and then I know Delusion didn't happen this year, and Delusion is immersive theater too, and every year they sell out. Much like Wicked Lit does, but this year they didn't do it. But if you're looking for something like that, there is something based on Japanese monsters and folklore called the Kaidan or Kaidan Project, and I did that, and I was pleasantly surprised. And if you look at their website, most of it is sold out, and that just ends their first year doing it. They're also doing it in conjunction with East West Players, which is a great the theater group here. So
Down to Little Tokyo.
So I think, or are they in
East West Players.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. They're it's fantastic. So if you get a chance to do that, they don't give you the address until you purchase a ticket in somewhere. But check that out. That's new this year.
You're talking to a couple weebs, so that's
well,
like.
so we'll, yeah.
We were both like,
You
tell us
can.
more.
There you go. And there are of course other great ones out there, but those are the ones I wanted to mention. But yeah.
That's and I know that speaking of Little Tokyo, they're having a Halloween festival for their first time ever this year, celebrating all kinds of stuff. I'll just walk into it and say all the wrong things if I try to explain it. But I just read about it today. It just seems like it's a really interesting thing. And Anthony, if we could just finish out the show, and we just want to talk just briefly about my absolute most favorite movie of all time. I think all of us have seen this movie. Some of the people in the room have seen it most just recently. And
This guy.
And if we could just show the trailer to this, I think. This is the TV spot.
That music.
This is the original John Carpenter's Halloween.
I think you'll come back.
Oh, I absolutely love this movie so much. I can honestly say this is I think this is one of the reasons I love the holiday.
The night he came home.
This trailer is like so jumping around that I'm like, what? This is
Does
a
that
weird trailer.
It felt very grindhousey.
Yeah.
Hey, Cheeseman on the couch. If we can see, he's got the head of Michael Myers. Oh wait, Anthony, tell us about.
I shot him.
Anthony, what are you showing us right now?
So this is me cheesing it up with John Carpenter.
That's
He's-
awesome.
He's apparently too cool to smile, but I could not contain my excitement. I was so giddy that day. I was jumping up in line. That's his wife right there in the background as well. And then they also had a panel of everyone who worked on the comic book that you see right here. If you can kind of see it, sort of, it's
Nice.
the Tales for Halloween or Halloween Night.
Yeah.
There was also Tim Bradstreet, who's pretty famous, a comic book artist. And yeah, he signed my little thing I have here. It's a picture of the Thing head that crawls up and
The little spider guy.
yeah, the spider head. Yeah, so it was quite the experience, I gotta say. I was so happy that day.
Awesome.
This is
That's
where
awesome.
over at the Golden Apple.
Yeah, it was
Comic
at
Shop?
Golden Apple Comics off of Melrose. I was number 90 in line.
That looks awesome. That is one of the coolest things. I remember you talking about that a couple of weeks ago. But as far as Halloween, you just saw it recently, right? And Kari, you just saw it recently?
No, not recently, but
I
I've
only
seen
saw it
yeah.
last
Okay.
week for the first time in life.
Wow.
I know.
What
I'm
did you think
behind.
about it?
I did like it because I've been sort of studying up in my classic horror films, and I'm just like, maybe I'm more of a modern horror kind of girl because I'm not loving all the classics.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw this one, I was like, no, I can get down to this. And then I went to the Welcome to Haddonfield 2 exhibit in South Pasadena.
Which was awesome. That's
Which
where I
is
got.
great, and then
that's
you
where I
got
picked
your
up a
signed-
copy of this book.
Check that out, guys, by the way, if you haven't gone to the exhibit yet. It's open every day. So.
It's Kim Gottlieb. She was the on-set photographer for all of John Carpenter's films, and the Halloween stuff in here is just amazing. You know, hearing her stories and hearing her tell about the on-set experiences. But the reason that I saw John Carpenter's Halloween first when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old. It was. Maybe it was a little bit younger than that, but I had heard about it. Like, I saw the advertisements when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or something like that on television. Yes, I'm much older than everybody else in the room.
Well, I guess it's better that you were only 3 and not 10 when you saw the ads.
Okay, yes. And then I
Played Michael Myers.
I went
when he was
to
much
a
younger.
sleepover party with some friends, and one of the kids in the room had seen it, and he sat up all night telling us the whole story of it, which kind of sort of ruined it for me, but made me want to see it a
Really
little more.
cute, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're still getting a scary story.
And then the
Yeah.
first time I saw it was on NBC back in the day. NBC used to show it every year, and on Halloween night.
That's weird.
yeah.
They actually, because and they actually filmed some new scenes to include in the television version.
Really?
So what'd you guys think of it?
I remember I liked it, but it is older. That it's a little on the slower pace.
Yeah, it is.
Came out. What year did it come out?
78.
Yeah, a lot of films from like 70s and 60s. their pacing's different than what we're used to. It's not like we need our jump cuts or anything like that. That's just the actual pacing of the film. You're like, all right, I get it. Keep moving. But I remember I thought it was really cool. Definitely one of the classics.
Enjoyed it. I'm going to be watching all the other 19 of them. Yeah. There's
a lot of them.
He's like, don't bother.
You can skip the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen all of them with the exception of the Rob Zombie films. I have a soft spot for Michael Myers. There aren't a ton of great movies in the franchise, but my goodness, if there aren't a lot of great movie moments.
Yes.
Even in the bad ones,
I
there's
agree
some
with you.
great movie moments.
Iconic music, iconic character. Best horror movie ever. What do you say, Michael? You like it?
You got the end of H2O
Yeah.
going on right over there.
I do.
The thing
But
ab-
was it really him according to Resurrection?
The
That movie. F that movie.
The thing
Yeah.
I loved about the movie, speaking as the old guy in the room, it was almost a bloodless movie. It was more about atmosphere and creeping, like you said.
Yeah.
It's not built for modern audiences, I don't think. Although I think the character
Modern attention spans.
But there's something about it. It's just so classic. It's always creeping, and it's a simple premise. And we were talking about we don't want to find out why Happy Death Day is supernatural. Why is she caught in this
We
time?
don't need it explained.
Michael is
When
just
you
pure
overly
evil,
explain
right? Yep.
it, you ruin it.
So
Yeah.
the original Michael Myers, there was no explanation. He was a crazy kid. He came back to kill somebody. It wasn't until the sequel that we found out, oh, this is his sister.
I don't
Deleted.
mind that. I actually think that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's where we get to 5 and 6 where we start to have a problem.
And
That explanation.
And that
was
should cue the Halloween music.
Last bit of announcement. Halloween is returning to theaters this year, 2017. This is the 39th year. It will be
right.
back, and the big news is it's coming back next year with Jamie Lee Curtis, John Carpenter. Everybody's coming back for a great movie next year. I'm running out of time here, so we got to hurry up and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight.
Yeah.
Go see Halloween in theaters if you haven't seen it. John Carpenter said it's a film that deserves to be seen in theaters. You can find me here at Con Guy Jim. Please subscribe to the show. Have an awesome Halloween. Everybody, let's sign out.
Yes. Hey, you can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And on my Twitter right now, I have a link to an article with the curator for Sundance Now's Halloween treats. So they have special indies horror movies curated for you. So
I'm
go
going to check
look
that
at
out.
Cool. I'm Angela Relucio, online, ANGELARELUCIO. Let's continue the conversation. I love talking with you guys.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I do a bunch of shows over at our sister network AfterBuzz. Write articles for The Movie Chick. Follow my channel Silver Screams at Silver_Screams on Twitter and Instagram.
That's awesome. You can hear him breathing in that music there. But I'm Luke Cheeseman, also known as Cheeseman on the Couch. You can find me and Michael here at ConGuyLuke on Twitter or on the ScareGuy.com. And also go to Disneyland and ride the Space Mountain ride. We didn't mention that, but it was cool. There's a fiery monster
Ghost Galaxy was
chasing
good.
you. And then also the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Haunted Mansion all have special things to check out. So go to Disneyland and to all these other great things we were talking about.
And all of us Scare Guys and Scare Ladies this week.
Scream Queens.
Scream Queens, we wish you a very happy Halloween, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.